that is the director of Ramsia Training Center at Abetifi, Reverend Gideon Bueno Popelampo. The director is with me. Director, you're welcome to PCG TV.
Thank you.
Also with us here is Reverend Edward Asamoah Yeboah. Edmond Asamoah Yeboah is the head of administration and is also a tutor. Reverend Edmond Akwaba, I hope everything is fine. And then we also have with us Reverend Kofi Ankama Asamoah, the chair of the planning committee, that is the planning committee for the 125th anniversary of the RTC. Papa, you're also welcome.
Thank you.
I welcome you all to PCG TV. So to begin it with, can we know a little background of RTC? Where is RTC coming from? Where have they gotten to? What have been the storyline of RTC? Talking about Ramsia Training Center. I will speak to you, Director.
Thank you very much, and grateful for the opportunity. RTC is part of the three major senior, or if you like, tertiary institutions that the Basel missions established way before the independence of Ghana in the 1800s. You know, when their approach has always been to use schools also to reach out to people and to help people learn and grow. And so they established the Akropong Teacher Training College, now the Akropong College of Education, I think 1848. Then later on, they would take people from the training college, select the best of it with a call and train them to become ministers. So the Akropong Seminary was established some 20 years later. As the church continued to grow, they had need for more people to match the growing congregations and more people to join the missionaries in breaking into the hinterlands and to spread out the gospel. So the need for training of catechists and evangelists became very prominent. Okay. That must be had. So that was the time that the decision was taken to start a second seminary, and that was the Abetifi Seminary. The decision was taken to start the seminary in 1898.
Okay.
And eventually in 1899, 125 years ago, the Abetifi Seminary, as it was known then, was started. It was started mainly to train catechists and evangelists to complement the missionaries and the ministers that were being trained at Akropong. As time went on, the Akropong fifth form training was ceased.
Okay.
And so Abetifi became the main place where these people were trained very, very strongly. In the 1950s, actually, the synod took a decision that all such agents training in terms of evangelists and catechists should be done at Abetifi.
Okay.
So Abetifi Seminary came on. It went through several phases until it came to what it is now. The first phase, you may say, is the first training period before the First World War.
Okay.
Then by the First World War, when the Germans were arrested, the German missionaries were arrested and sent away, the school came to a little halt. Then they came back and started again. Then the Second World War came. Within that period, things started picking up again. But after the Second World War, the Scottish missions took over. And so Douglas Wraith was sent over to take over, and from Scotland, then some Irish people were also sent in as missionaries to take over. So the center metamorphosed through several phases.
Oh.
It was the Basel Mission Seminary. Then it became the Basel Mission Institute. Then it became the Abetifi Training Center. Okay. Now, in the 1950s into the 1960s, the church went through some challenges generally, and that led to the establishment of a prayer and retreat center besides the training institution
at
Abetifi.
Okay.
So the two places went on and on. At that particular point in time, you had the Reverend T.A. Kumi in charge of the retreat and prayer center, and you had Reverend S.R. Ntifro in charge of the training center.
Okay.
Under the moderator, Ojija,
Okay.
the two centers were put together
Okay.
again to be called the Ramsey Training Center, where the two were merged. After that point, the Reverend Rattishauser became the first person to hold the two together, after which several more Ghanaians took up. About 25 or more years ago, when the church started thinking about having a university, RTC again was chosen to be the place to start it.
Okay.
So RTC hosted the university until the university moved out and RTC came up. Now, within those periods also, the SMT program have been going on. So whilst the center used to train all categories of agents, particularly among the lay, eventually ministerial training also came in.
Okay.
Now, after some time, the ministerial training gained dominance. By 2018, the change of curriculum led to the center having to train more ministers. And so as we are now, RTC trains catechists, trains leaders for groups, does certificate courses, but above all, trains more ministers than we used to do.
Oh, wow. So that is RTC.
Yeah.
Director, talking about RTC bringing in the prayer retreat center into the training, it means whilst having RTC now, it means all these things go together, or you have now centered everything on the training and you have taken away the prayer thing.
So in the mandate that was renewed for RTC, which is what we have this time,
Okay.
3 key things are put together, and we have synchronized them with our name RTC. Retreat, which includes all of the prayer and the others, and training, which includes the training of lay people and ministers and all, and then conferencing, which also is another form of training but gives room for engagements in various ways. So all the 3 are happening right now. We do the conferencing, we do the training, we do the retreats also, all in there.
Very good. Oh, that's great. That is RTC for you. A very comprehensive activity going on in RTC, and that is very, very great. If I will come to Papa as Ankama, Papa Kofi Ankama, 125th anniversary. As director, narrated the activities coming from far away beyond the first world wars and all those things. What are the plans and thoughts for the 125th anniversary?
Well, firstly, we decided it should be a year-long celebration. 125 years, we don't just have one event and it's ending.
Sure.
So we started planning from last year and decided that we're going to have mini celebrations or mini launches.
Okay.
The first one took place in Accra.
Okay.
We had a lecture, we had some remembrance. We also tried to bring the alumni together.
Okay.
Because it's the products of the school. The evidence that the school has been in existence, it's the products that have come out. So we found people who had been in the school from the 70s. Somehow, maybe those in the 60s either they didn't hear or they've gone to be with the Lord. But from the 70s, we found people who had come in. And we tried to then list the number of people and try to link them up and to celebrate with them. So in Accra, we had a celebration for Ga and Ga West Presbytery. We actually invited the Kwapim, but I think the day couldn't favor them. Then we went to Takoradi and hosted Western Region and Central Region. Had a similar program. So there again, we found alumni who had been working, evangelists or catechists or ministers or even lay people who had been trained in various like marriage counseling and evangelism and things like that.
Yeah.
So those also came in. Then we went to Kumasi. We have had 2 kind of celebrations in Kumasi. One in which the chairperson brought in the leadership of the Asante Presbytery, who came and listened and shared and enjoyed and decided that they were going to support RCC in a wonderful way. So then recently we also went and celebrated the person who actually composed the song which everybody comes to RTC and sings. All right, so that was in Kumasi.
And that's supposed to be RTC anthem or something.
Yes.
Okay.
Then the brothers and sisters in the UK and Europe heard about this and said, we will not be left out.
They have also been trained.
Yes, they've also been trained. So they will have a celebration. So come November, they had a great celebration.
Okay.
Two-pronged. They had an online celebration where we had lectures and we had some alumni listing and registering. Then we had a great service the next day. And for me, it has been the biggest attendance in terms of locals and districts and presbyteries put together for this. As we say, I'm a yifi, not chepu.
Oh, okay. So, Papa, but the climax, I'm coming. We'll come to the climax.
Yes.
But before we come to the climax and look at all the things that you have mentioned, how it reflects on the mission of the church, let's take a break and we will be back. Keep watching PCG TV as we are having interaction with the leadership of RTC, Ramsia Training Center, Abetifi. We will be right back. Welcome back, and it has been so great. If you are now joining us, you've not missed so much, but you've missed a little. And still keep joining us. And it's a program we are having with the RTC leadership, the Ramsia Training Center leadership. Basically, listening to the talks, it tells you the leadership of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Basically, the highest percentage is being trained at this place, and they are celebrating the 125th anniversary, and it has been wonderful having interaction on this very, very program that we are talking about. So before the break, we were talking about the activities that has gone on so far prior to this time that we are waiting for the climax. Papa Edmond, how has this reflected all these activities and going around to see the alumni? How would you describe the work of RTC with the mission of the church?
All right. Thank you very much, my brother. RTC, basically, as has been shared, exists to train the workforce for the church.
Sure.
And so what RTC does is to equip the leadership to run the church. And there is no doubt that the quality of the church is linked to the quality of the minister. And it's so important that in our training, we ensure that we bring out that quality. Now, what we have done in this part of the anniversary and how we're mobilizing and meeting people there goes to add up to what we mean to do. For example, there are some of them that have not been back after several years. So this was an opportunity to reconnect with them, meet them at the various spots, and then share ideas, share thoughts on how they are faring. Through the lectures that we had, we reaffirmed our place as RTC. We spoke about the history of the church, of the center. We shared with them how ministerial formation is being transformed and how it is evolving with the current status so that we remain relevant in our ministries. Again, it created a forum for other alumni and trainees in session to also meet. So they could also share ideas and speak about their experiences, which I believe goes a long way to motivate and then to also inspire people who are on this journey.
Okay. So, Director, let me come back to you to really take us through some of the current activities that you do in RTC. Then, linking up, we'll come to the anniversary activities that you have also. What are some of the specific activities, areas that you really take people through in order to bring out the quality in them?
Okay, thank you very much. The philosophy for training, teaching and learning at RTC focuses on the person first, who you are in relation to your relationship with Jesus Christ. To form you as a person first. That is the most fundamental thing. Your faith in Jesus Christ and how that requires of you to have a character that is Christ-like. across everything we do, we focus on that first. Your relationship with Jesus Christ and your walk with him. Then we also focus on how that must naturally flow out into what you do.
Okay.
How that, so your relationship with Jesus, come into a relationship with him, remain and abide with him and walk with him. And as you walk with him, let then the quality of who you are begin to flow into what you do. Now, this begins in this way. This begins on the emphasis on your spirituality, then your character, then your ministry, the ministry things you do. Our year will normally begin with ministry to the staff and faculty themselves. We take our retreats at the very beginning to get ourselves together, get into our work covenants and co, and then we also begin for our the covenant service that begins with us. Then it will follow on with the ministers in training coming in for their minor session. The minor session is the session in which they come to do the exams for the courses they have taken. And then the focus, that's also their liturgical session, where they come to engage how to officiate ceremonies and co in the church. That would be followed immediately by our catechist training, the first level. And then we have created spots in between this for the various groups and congregations of the Presby Church and outside the Presby Church who wants to come and have programs with us. In fact, RTC exists first of all to serve the PCG.
All right.
So service to the PCG takes priority, but then we also exist to serve the larger Christian community.
Sure.
So we also make room for them, and then they also come in. That would then progress on to the outreach programs we take. Congregations invite us to come and do training for them. So some come onto the campus, others we go. That would go into that. This will be followed by the National School of Evangelism. In fact, the Clan Bodatorial Forum comes first. Then National School of Evangelism comes. Then SMT, the Ministerial Formation Major Session comes. General Assembly will follow. Then the National Church Growth and Evangelism Consultation will come. Then another session of the Ministerial Formation comes. The catechist sessions will follow, and then on and on and on to the end of the year.
Wow, RCC seems not to rest.
If the church is not resting,
sure. Papa, coming to the anniversary, what are some of the things that is going to happen in there?
Yes, first of all, for us, it's a homecoming. You're coming home, and when you have a home festival, there should be fun, but there's also be serious family talk. Then there should be family planning for the future, and these are all going to be part of what RTC is going to be. We are arriving on Thursday, 12th December. And when we arrive, we will try and get together the year groups, so the graduating or the cohorts that passed out together will be a year group. Some have not been meeting. And
so year group meetings.
And then to catch up, and then maybe boss on how we are progressing and things like that. Then we'll have a small competition among the year groups. Yes, we want to test our knowledge. We want to test our memory. So a little jogging, and we all know how quizzes have come up in good vogue. So we will do that. That's evening. Then we'll organize the alumni as it were. We have tried to rally alumni from various places, but now we'll come together and then have a good inauguration of our alumni group. Alumni actually holds all institutions the world over. So come Friday, after breakfast, we'll be energized to go on the float. We'll hit town and dance and really, reconnect to the town, which has made us. Why? Abetifi opened up to RTC. Abetifi connected to RTC and taught us many things, gave us opportunity to practice whilst we were learning. So we need to go back and say thank you for what you have done for us. There will be the heritage exhibition, there will be the heritage lecture, that will be in the evening. And then come Saturday. Saturday is a graduation for the class that is going to be graduating this present year.
Okay.
And we want to really have a celebration. So there's alumni there, and then there are people going to graduate who are going to be the freshest alumni. So we'll have music, we'll have speeches, we'll mobilize funds. There will be meal times. There will be continuous education programs to be adored to us. Then the project which must really signify alumni as having contributed to the school. There are two things. One, there's a monument which must be unveiled. The monument will then tell anybody who walks there, even if you don't speak to anybody, it's you to know and feel the spirit of RTC.
Okay.
Then comes the bigger project. The bigger project which has been said is that we need faculty. We need people who will stay on the campus and be able to teach. Our faculty is doing well, but they can do much, much more.
Okay.
So they actually bring in adjunct lecturers like myself. We go and teach, but that is expensive.
Sure.
So we are raising 9 million Ghana cedis, cut short for that project. We're going to have 8 apartments for families. So we're going to have 8 more faculties who will be teaching, and so the sword must be cut for that.
Sure. Okay.
And then, of course, there will be a great dinner, so that there's no celebration without a great banquet.
Sure.
Yes, and then Sunday, as usual, as Presbyterians, will go to church and then thank God. So there's a fun, there's the serious or lecture or whatever aspect, and finally there will be the projection for the future.
So the program starts, the arrival
Thursday, 12th December, and then we knock off Sunday, 15th December. The moderator is going to be there, and all the top hierarchy of Presbyterian Church of Ghana will be there. You better be there.
You better be there, as he says. This is RTC, a conversation with RTC, 125 years. Remember, the entire church is going to be 200 years, and RTC is 125 years. One of the early institutions that were established, as Director really talked about. And you are with us, and you are learning a lot of things about RTC. Stick and stay with us. Don't go away. We will be right back. Welcome back. You are still on PCG TV with us, and God bless you for staying with us. And this is the time with RTC, Ramsia Training Center at Abetifi, headed by the Reverend Gideon Popolampo. And we are really enjoying the history, the lifeline, and the progress activities of the RTC. And it's been wonderful. It's been so wonderful. Coming back to our conversation. So we are looking forward to do this project, a very strong project, which is going to facilitate training, going to increase the number of faculty members even on campus, so that it helps the training. Let's see, how are we gathering funds to do this? You talked about 9 million Ghana cedis. How are we gathering funds to do that?
First of all, the mini lunches or mini celebrations raise some money.
Okay.
But in each of these mini celebrations, I've told alumni are the people who support any institution.
Sure.
You go the world over. And our definition of alumni this time is very much encompassing.
Okay.
People go to Harvard for a week and they call themselves Harvard graduates. So stretching that, anybody who has been a week or even more in RTC for whatever, whether it's for General Assembly, you are affiliated. We have roped you in and you are there.
I am an alumni.
Yes.
I am an alumni.
Yes.
I was going to ask whether I will be honored to
Yes.
do one.
Okay, so there you are.
So it covers.
Every right comes with a responsibility.
Oh, sure, I know.
So let's go to responsibility.
All right.
Now, the alumni head locals, districts, presbyteries, and then of course, we will be among the head of the church. Now, let's assume there are even 30 presbyteries.
Okay.
We need 9 million. 30 dividing 9 million is 300,000. So each presbytery can easily raise 300,000. Now, in these presbyteries, there are districts. Let's say there are 10 districts, which means that each district then will take 30,000 Ghana cedis. It becomes within reach, isn't it?
Yes.
Then comes the locals. Each district may have like 4, 5, or even some people have 10.
Others have 20, 40.
Right. So we come to 30 dividing 10. 10 dividing 30 will be 3. So if each congregation gave us 3,000 Ghana cedis, we are home and dry. That is one. Number 2, the alumni themselves must also then pitch. We are saying that we are 125 years. Minimum, every alumnus should pay 125 Ghana cedis.
125.
Yes, that's within reach and it's doable.
Okay.
We are also selling paraphernalia, the T-shirts and then the cloth and then any other memorabilia that we can. So we will sell and make money out of those ones. So we can. So these are simple ways in which we think alumni should be able to support their great school and be proud about it.
So Director, coming back to you, RTC, we have seen a lot of impact. In fact, if you want to count the number of the alumni members of RTC, as Papa Asamoah also elaborated, you wouldn't have it very small. It will be one of the largest. Talking from 125 years ago to today, you've really done a lot. But generally, RTC, how should the the alumni come on board? Not just about this project. What are some of the things they can come on board to really support to make RTC reach every goal that you set at RTC, and other things that you want to add?
The first and most important thing is how they carry themselves out there, so that their quality of life and their competence in ministry speaks volumes for what RTC does. For us, that is the most important in this matter, that they are able to carry themselves based upon how they have been groomed and formed in RTC, the way they carry themselves out there, the quality of the various ministries they have there to indicate the training that they have received. The second thing that they can also do, that they should also be doing to help the center grow on, is the fact that RTC is positioned to support them in the ministry that they have received and they carry out in the churches. So you are in a congregation and you are preparing your elders, you are doing retreat for your elders, RTC is available to join you so that we get that done. Training and improvement for your youth ministry, music ministry, ushers, men, women, training people for evangelism, discipleship. Several congregations draw us. In fact, we do have some congregations and districts that have an annual standing relationship with us. That every year when that time is up, we've got to go. They bring the people together. We ascertain the area of preparation and we go and carry out. Again, they can bring their people also out to the center for retreat at the center itself. That comes on. The other thing we'll be doing during the Alumni Impact Night is that serious business of the alumni sitting down. They would brainstorm and they would generate for RTC issues that they want RTC to run the continuous development program for them for next year. And we will be able to engage those things. Those that will require a deeper work, we would turn them into certificate courses. Our certificate courses, some are certificated by the church itself and hence RTC. Some are certificated by the university, some by the Abetifi Crystalline Institute. So they will generate that for us. And that's one of the ways they can support us, is to give us those issues from the field that are engaging them right now, in which they require competence. They give it to us. We research on it on the field and the other places to develop the material to do that training. Then the general issue of donating to support RTC. What they are supposed to do as alumni have been mentioned. Now we are looking for several more people. The anniversary brochure is, if you know people with small businesses that will want to take out advertisement in the brochure, the information is out there through the alumni platform. You can get it and support. Individuals who will want to to support RTC. You want to give some regular donation, you want to donate something, you want to come help us do these projects we are doing. The May 125th anniversary is there. There are other things. We have a catalog of issues that we are working on step by step. So just to generate the good favor towards the institution, talk about the institution to people, make sure that you encourage people to connect with us. Because RTC, as we have said, exists to serve the PCG and to serve the Christian church as a whole.
RTC exists to serve the PCG and to serve every individual, the Christian church as a whole. Remember this. He said that the quality of the church is linked up to the quality of the minister. And therefore, RTC is set to make sure that quality ministers, quality leaders of the church are always sent to the congregations and the preaching points, as we always have it in the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. And then you remember also that as an alumni, your quality of life should be able to sell and propagate the good work of RTC. These are some of the tidbits of our conversation, and it has been wonderful having with us the director of the RTC himself, Reverend Gideon Bueno Pupulampo. Papa, God bless you for passing through. And then we've also had Reverend Edmond Asamoah Yeboah, head of admin, who is also a tutor, and then Reverend Kofi Ankama Asamoah, chair of the planning committee for the 125th anniversary. It has been wonderful having this discussion with the leadership of RTC. Beloved, the core is to support RTC wherever you are, wherever you find yourself. Support RTC so that RTC will be able to generate and bring out the quality of leaders that the church seeks to have. Remember, it is the quality of life of the minister that reflects in the quality of the life of the church. And this is a very wonderful statement, and I want to leave it with you as you keep pondering over them and you keep praying for RTC and supporting the 125th anniversary. Remember, it starts from the 12th of December to the 15th of December. Join RTC to climax this celebration of 125 years, and you will also be blessed. God richly bless you for making time with us. Asema Ukrami, Yesu Christo Dinti, Yenimse Erense. May the Lord be with you. Thank you for joining us on PCG TV. It's been with me, Reverend Ebenezer Owusu Ahimkan, who has been the host of this program. God bless you.
The Ramsia Training Center in Kwewu Abetifi is a Christian leadership lay clergy training center of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana that was founded in 1899. At its establishment, it was the Basil Mission Seminary, also known as the Abetifi Seminary. It was second only to the Ekropon Seminary.
Ramsia Training Center is a wholly owned institution of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. The whole idea to start the Ramsia Training Center came up when, at a certain point in the history of the Basil Mission in Ghana, the church was growing very well. In fact, it was expanding, particularly when it gained grounds in the Kwewu area towards Kumasi. The approach that the missions had at the time was that they select people and train them at the Presbyterian Training College, PTC, now the College of Education. Now, when those set A teachers get to the end of their fourth year, they select from amongst them those who are academically good and astute, those who has demonstrated faith in Jesus Christ, and those who are growing in their spirituality and hard work, those who fit into the core values of the church. And these people are selected and they are given an extra year training, which was referred to famously as the fifth form. Now, the fifth form is used to prepare them, and then they go out there first to be catechists and then to be ministers.
It started as a place for training catechists and evangelists. Over the course of the years, the center has evolved and now trains reverend ministers, catechists, lay leadership, and church members in ministry skills for competence and excellence.
RTC over the years have grown to become a ministerial formation place. Over 20 years ago, when the church decided to meet a particular need of creating what was then called the special ministerial training, where professionals and senior people in the church who have served in various ways as lay people could be prepared to become ministers, also to meet the rising demand for ministers. The program was first started by the Committee on Ministry under the head office, and the program was run at the Trinity Theological Seminary. After some time, it was moved to be run here at RTC, and that went on for a long time.
The center also has transformed into a hub for study, worship, research, conferences, retreats, dialogue, and reflection. By mandate, the center primarily provides ministerial and catechist training for the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. In addition, it offers open-to-all training programs in the areas of church leadership, church growth, evangelism, and discipleship.
Here at the Ramsia Training Center, we train ministers, catechists, and church workers for the Presbyterian Church of Ghana and also for the General Church Fellowship. What we do here in respect of administration covers a whole lot. Now, there are 5 main departments that man the center. So there is the Department of Finance, Department of Programs, the Department of Chaplaincy, Department of Hospitality, and then the Department of Administration. With respect to the administration, we oversee the general operations of the center, be it policy implementation, policy development, staff welfare, and other programs that are run here. One of the key things that makes the Department of Administration very key in the place or at the center, it's how we coordinate and align the mission and vision of the center to the programs that are run here. By this, we ensure that all the logistics that are needed for every program is catered for. Also coordinating and ensuring that the units under the department are functioning well to ensure a smooth delivery of all the services that we run here.
Enter our meticulously crafted campus, situated amidst a peaceful environment, and experience the serene aura that surrounds you.
The units that we have under the Department of Administration are the General Administration, IT and Transport. We have the unit of housekeeping, we have maintenance, we have security, and then the kitchen. All these are coordinated from the Central Administration to ensure that they all do their work and maintain the flow that is needed for effective and efficient delivery.
The Ramsia Training Center serves as a sanctuary for individuals searching for spiritual enlightenment, offering a hospitable and supportive setting conducive to personal and spiritual development.
One of the things that sets us apart is the attention we give to ensure that there is that inclusiveness with respect to all the people that come here, both young and old, able, physically challenged, and all that. We ensure that we give them the needed priority so that their stay here with us is comfortable enough, and then they are able to function as they go on. So it is to say that we are disability friendly for the services that we render, from accommodation to dining area to conference hall to our classrooms. All ensure that each class of people are catered for and that they are very happy when they come here.
In addition, it offers open-to-all training programs in the areas of church leadership, church growth, evangelism and discipleship, and pastoral and counseling ministries.
At RTC, we do have a lot of programs. Specifically, we have that which we call the statutory programs that are directly under PCG, or we do it directly on behalf of PCG. For instance, we have the SMT program, we have the LMT, that is a catechist training, we have the probationary studies that is hosted here. Then we also host other programs like the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana and so many other programs that we host on behalf of the church. Additionally, we also do have programs for other institutions and organizations and churches that uses here for their facilities, some of which the center facilitates for them because we are into training, retreats, and conferencing. That is why we are called RTC, retreats, training, and conferencing. So we do all those ones as the Lord grants us grace.
Ramsia Training Center offers comprehensive training programs designed to prepare individuals aspiring to fulfill various ministry roles, such as ministers, missionaries, counselors, and others. Through these programs, participants are provided with the necessary skills and knowledge to effectively lead and serve in their respective roles, while cultivating a compassionate and confident approach. Trainees have the opportunity to actively participate in practical learning activities, cultivate essential leadership attributes, and establish a solid groundwork for effecting positive change within their community.
But specifically, the one that we spend more time working on has to do with the SMT, and it is the main program we run here at the center. The SMT means the Special Ministerial Training, and it's for preparing people who are called by God to come into ministry, and they come so that they are prepared, so that they will be able to do as the Lord will grant them grace.
The center, in partnership with the Presbyterian University Ghana, periodically offers certificate courses. The primary objective of these courses is to provide lay leadership and church members with the necessary skills and knowledge to engage in ministry with a high level of effectiveness. Several examples of certificate courses are the Certificate in Biblical Interpretation, the Certificate in Legal Studies for Ministry, the Certificate in Counseling and Coaching, and the Certificate in Church Leadership and Administration, among others.
Again, coming to RTC is very, very important, because so far I can boldly say that RTC seems to be one institution that if you want to be trained for ministry, then you can't do without. It is like the Mokola for the Ghana Bar Association, so that you can have all that you have, but you come to RTC and you really get prepared for purpose. You will get prepared for ministry, and that is what RTC does, and that's what RTC is all about. We are noted for skill, we are also noted for competence, and then for excellence, so that if you want to do ministry with skill, ministry with competence, ministry with excellence, then you have no other institution than the Ramsia Training Center.
You will graduate from our programs with a heightened sense of purpose and a solid spiritual foundation. You will be prepared to impact the world for Christ wherever your journey takes you, equipped with both practical skills and spiritual insight.
If I will say something about the key achievements of RTC, then I will say that RTC have always been the place where several issues were engaged to help turn the church around when things were going low. For example, RTC was started because the church needed to mitigate the challenge of lack of trained personnel agents for the church. That was how RTC evolved. Having gone through several phases of things, you notice that in the 1960s, 1950s to the 1960s, when there was an upsurge of what was called then a spiritual famine in the church, where people were yearning for more of God, but they were not having that for various reasons, economic reasons and other reasons. RTC again came up to the fore, where RTC then became the group that was put together to support the Bible study and prayer group that was coming up at the time. So RTC, the faculty of RTC were put together and they did a study of the challenges of the church all around Ghana, and then they came up with a paper on how the church can embrace the spiritual renewal that was coming up and can get up also to meet the need of people. And these are just to mention a few of the many great things that RTC have done for the church, serving the church. In fact, the mandate of RTC, as have been said, is that RTC must serve the church first, and then the rest of the Christian community and the whole of society.
Feel the love